Well, guys, Arcforge here. Welcome to another story time. Which today is going to be a Lunar New Year's special. Today we're going to be reading the biography of Gangplank The Saltwater Scourge. Tomorrow I will be streaming Roblox and also doing another story time. Story time continuing on with Gameplank's story. And then on on Sunday, which is going to be Valentine's Day, we're going to be doing a nice little Legends love story. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the story of Gangplank, the Saltwater Scourge. Gangplank, the Saltwater Scourge. As unpredictable as he is brutal, the dethroned River King known as Gangplank is feared far and wide. Where he goes, death and ruin follow, and such in his infamy and reputation that the mere sight of his black sails on the horizon causes panic among even the hardiest crew. Having grown rich, preying upon the trade routes of the 12 seas, Gangplank has made himself many powerful enemies. In Ionia, he incurred the wrath of the deadly Order of Shadow after ransacking the Temple of the Jagged Knife. It is said that the Grand General of Noxus himself was sworn to see Gangplank torn asunder after the pirates stole the Leviathan, Swain's personal warship and the pride of the Noxian fleet. While Gangplank has incurred the wrath of many, none have yet been able to bring him to justice. Despite assassins, bounty hunters, and entire armadas being sent after him, he takes grim pleasure in the ever-increasing rewards posted for his head, and makes sure to nail them to the bounty board in Bilgewater for all to see. Whenever he returns to the port, his ship's heavy with loot. Recent times, Gangplank has been brought down by the machinations of the bounty hunter Misfortune. His ship was destroyed with all of Bilgewater watching, killing his crew and shattering his aura of invincibility. Now that they've seen he is vulnerable, the gangs of Bilgewater have risen up, fighting amongst themselves to claim dominion over the port city. Despite receiving horrific injuries in the explosion, Gangplank survived, sporting a multitude of fresh scars and with a newly crafted metal arm to replace his amputated limb. He is now determined to rebuild his strength and reclaim what he sees as rightfully his, and to ruthlessly punish all those who turn against him. Alright, that is the biography of Gangplank the Saltwater Scourge. Now we will read his short story. We will read his color story. Before we do, let me check something real quickly. PC to load faster. Okay, go. GP Gangplank. Alright, so let me see. I'm pretty sure there's 4 stories for him, right? Yes, there is. Alright, so we're going to read his color story. Then we'll read then tomorrow we'll read Burning Tides and Shadow and Fortune. Anyway, let's get on to the color story. Blood in the Water. The massive Noxian war captain shuddered and dropped his axe as Gangplank rammed his cutlass deep into the man's gut. Blood bubbled from the warrior's tattooed lips as he mouthed an unheard curse. Gangplank pulled his blade free with a sneer and shoved the dying man to the deck. He collapsed in a clatter of heavy armor, his blood mingling with the seawater, sloshing across the war galley's foredeck. The black-painted hull of Gangplank's ship loomed above. The 2 vessels locked together with grapples and lines. Gangplank's black and gold teeth gritted in suppressed pain. The Noxian had almost bested him. Nevertheless, he refused to let his crew see his weakness, forcing his lips into a wicked smile. Wind and rain whipping at him, he turned to survey the rest of the Noxians. He'd issued a blood challenge to the enemy captain. Now that he won, the will to fight evaporated. This ship is now mine, Gangplank roared, loud enough to be heard over the driving gale. Does anyone else have anything to say on the matter? One of the Noxians, a huge warrior with blood cult tattoos upon his face and garbed in spiked armor, glared at Gangplank. We are sons of Noxus, he bellowed. We would all gladly die before we let our ship be taken by the likes of you. Gangplank frowned, then shrugged. Fair enough, he said, and turned away. Gangplank favored his crew with a vicious smile. Kill them all, he roared, and burn their ship to the waterline. Alright, that is the story of Gangplank, the Saltwater Scourge. Like I said before, tomorrow we are going to be reading. Alright, so tomorrow we're going to be reading the two stories, Burn Tides, and then Shadow and Fortune. Now, the reason why I chose to have Gangplank as this Lunar Review special is because Gangplank is actually one of my favorite. Is one of the pretty fun champions for me to play. He's high skill. He's high skill. He has a high skill ceiling. But in terms of mechanics, it's somewhat pretty simple. But overall, his gameplay overall is pretty fun. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this nice little story time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Farewell.